Well, get this. A Canadian woman could get a life sentence in prison because she wanted to help some baby ducks on the side of the road. She parked her car in the left lane, a moving lane of the highway, and got out to help them. And that caused a pileup that left 2 people dead. The 25-year-old has already been convicted of criminal negligence causing death. The sentencing is in August. Keith Sullivan is a criminal defense attorney. Doug Burns, a former federal prosecutor. They both joined us. Thanks for being with us.
Hi.
This happened in Canada, legal system a little different, but let's just be clear about the facts here, first of all,
Sure.
okay? The baby ducks were on the median. They were not on the road. She wasn't stopping to let them by. They were safe on the median. She saw them and said, "Oh, I don't see a mommy with those baby ducklings. Let me stop and scoop them up and put them in my car and take them home." So she stops her car in the middle of the highway in the left lane. Okay, life in prison, insane. But this woman is criminally stupid, is she not?
Criminally stupid, without a doubt. But the bedrock of all criminal law, regardless of what country you're in, is mental state, the mens rea. What was her mental state? And she clearly had no intention of killing the unfortunate individuals on the motorcycles. Keep in mind, they're also partly responsible for their death. They were speeding, I think it was 20 miles above the speed limit, and they didn't leave enough distance to be able to stop. She didn't stop suddenly. Her car had been stopped. So certainly you don't have the mental state to commit murder, and when you criminalize stupidity, it's usually a manslaughter. It's a lesser sentence.
Right.
Life in prison for this conduct is just outrageous. It's inhumane.
Now, when you say she didn't stop suddenly, what do you mean?
She brought her car to a stop,
right,
opened the door, got out of the car, walked
right,
around to the front of the car, and began to tend to the little ducklings.
Right.
So there was ample opportunity for a driver who's operating their motorcycle at a safe distance, at a safe speed, to see the stopped vehicle, come to a stop. Other vehicles had swerved out of the way and avoided the collision. This motorcyclist was going too fast, wasn't paying attention, and contributed to his own death as well as the death of his daughter.
Yeah, I mean,
Doug.
if you broke this down as a civil case, Keith, I mean, what you'd say is there's negligence all around. In other words, she was grossly negligent in stopping her car, as you said, Patty Ann, in the left lane of a highway. That's just completely negligent. But again, the person was speeding on the motorcycle, probably following too close. So it's what we call a comparative negligence scenario. Now, when you get past the headline, life imprisonment, you know, she's not getting life imprisonment.
Right.
Let's clear that up right now. She
probably
going to get probation, in my opinion. And then last point I want to make is that negligence really is a substitute theory for intent. In other words, you were so grossly negligent that we're going to hold you criminally responsible. But I can understand people having a problem with that, particularly in this type of case.
Yeah, you know, as you pointed out, Keith, the man, tragically, behind her, 50-year-old dad. He's got his 16-year-old daughter on the back of the motorcycle. They're riding, as you said, obviously too close, and they're going too fast. The mom and wife is on a motorcycle behind them. She stopped on time, and she has come out and said, "I don't blame the woman for stopping her car for my husband and daughter's death." So obviously there is some wiggle room
there's
there.
a lot of factors here, and the idea that the car driver has the possibility, and I agree with Doug. I don't think she's going to get life in prison,
right,
but the mere fact that that's even a possibility, that that's on the table, that's just inhumane. I mean, that's just unacceptable in our society that we would do that to somebody because they were stupid, without the mental state, without the intent of wanting to bring about death.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Doug, again, this is Canada law here. Apparently, the woman said, "I'm willing to plead guilty to lesser charges." She wanted a plea deal, and it was turned down because they said, "No, we want her to serve jail time."
Yeah, there are so many factors in any particular case, which is, you know, it's like a recipe, a dash of prosecutorial overreaching, maybe a dash of media coverage of the case, and it's unfortunate. I mean, one thing I'll say is Keith and I, any lawyers who've been practicing a long time, a case has a price tag on it, okay? And the correct price tag on a case like this is she did some negligence, she should get a suspended sentence and call it a day. And as you said, the victim's own relative not upset with her. That's very revealing.
Yeah, it's a tragic case all around.
Absolutely.
And the tragedy would be compounded if the sentence against this woman is too harsh. She is apparently suffering quite a bit over knowing that she caused these deaths. So, all right, Doug Burns, Keith Sullivan, thank you both so much for joining us.
My pleasure.